definitely recording.
There's no restart button on this, though. I should turn it off.
You have to do a hard restart. A hard restart. Is that like most of your cars? They do a hard restart?
No, they do a hard no start.
Okay. And
Cut the jokes off at the pass.
Episode 75 of Auto Off Topic. We've got Liz and Jordan are back.
They are.
We went to the rally sprint with them.
We last had them on when they were preparing to build the car. You already bought the car, right? No, you're preparing to go to get the car?
No, we picked it up.
You just got back.
Oh,
so
that's
it was
right,
the day after. That's right, too.
Yeah, it was New Year's Day.
Oh, yeah.
We had the brunch.
Right. Oh, Lord.
Cool.
It sounded like a car accident out front or something.
Now the dogs are going to go investigate. So.
Yeah. We'll get a report in a minute.
Yeah.
So there's 4 people here at the podcast tonight.
Yes.
And with those 4 people, that means there are also 4 dogs here at the podcast tonight.
Yes.
So if there's an interruption, that's all it is.
Yep.
So, all right, my computer is up and running.
All right. Last episode, we talked a lot about the woes of resurrecting a long dormant rally car.
Long dormant car in general, but in this case, a rally car, yep.
But that payoff, huh?
Hell of a payoff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a microphone there you should probably use.
I think it was worth it.
Oh, is the mic on?
I don't know.
Now it's on.
It is. Good job, Andrew. Sorry, George. I apologize to the guest.
Producer extraordinaire.
I apologize to the guest for giving him crap for not using the microphone.
I'll see myself out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you had to talk into the microphone to make it work, but you also had to have the microphone on to make it work.
At least we figured that out
So-
only 2 minutes in.
Correct. That's a good thing we have
way
monitoring going on
Yeah.
the headphones, or else we never would have known.
All right.
So now I'm wondering if that's the reason it took us 3 weeks to get the brake cells up, because we had Andrew in charge of trying to figure it out.
Probably.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey, start the joke. Start the podcast joke about my cars.
I don't think so.
Yeah. What? So the brakes was probably the hardest part.
Yep.
So far, yeah.
Yeah. But then it was. What else do we have to do?
Still to do or did do?
What did we do?
Let's do a rundown of what we've done since you were last here till now.
Well,
Because you last year was the day you got the car.
Yeah.
So what happened from day 1 until now in
Month and a half.
45 minutes or less?
40.
Christ.
So what have we done? We got it home. We talked to you guys that next day. We tried to drive it to Jordan's garage, and the heat didn't work. So I was driving it down the street for the first time, and I couldn't see out the windows, and it was pitch black outside. So I freaked out and pulled over on the side of the road, and Jordan drove it back home.
Oh, it had gravels on it, right? And it didn't move in the snow?
No, it had snows on it, but they turned out to be from 2002. So they might as well have been gravels.
Okay.
So they're just rock hard hockey pucks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun fact, snow tires are actually really soft compound, which most people don't realize. That's why you don't run them in the summertime, because they wear out really fast on hot pavement.
Or you can.
Fun facts.
Yeah, as we've learned, but they wear out fast, that's all.
Can't autocross on them.
What else we do? We brought it to your garage eventually. We did the whole tune-up. You guys were there for the tune-up. Most of the tune-up. You guys saw
Did
the
we actually
wiring
tune?
for the first
Oh,
time.
yeah, that was still in your garage, though. We skipped ahead a bit. We did all the wiring and tune-up stuff.
Jordan's
in your
garage.
That's what you
Oh,
meant.
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You said your garage. That you meant down to...
No. So we did the tune-up in Jordan's garage. You guys were there. You came up a
That
bunch.
seems like years ago.
Yeah, you came up a bunch, Andrew, and did all the rewiring.
Yep.
And then we tried to do the first rally cross,
Yeah,
and it
we
died in
tried-
the street.
Yeah, we tried to... there was a test and tune rallycross.
Oh, yeah. There's that one.
And we were supposed to go to it, and then we got the car aligned the day before. But on the way home, like 3 miles from the garage to my house, the alternator puked in the middle of an intersection in downtown.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't make that one.
Second time you drove on the road. Second time you didn't make it home with
Nope.
the first driver. It's not working out well here so far.
No, and then we are all amped up. We're going to do the 2-day rally cross. Jordan rents the trailer Friday night. I start the car. We get it all ready. I jump in the car and about to drive it down the driveway into the trailer, and my foot goes to the floor with the brakes.
Uh-oh. Mm-hmm. So what had we done leading up to the foot going to the floor with the brakes? Was there any brake work done to the car?
Jordan changed the calipers.
Yeah, so
But not his fault, though. I'll make this clear right away. That was a bus driven over Jordan there for no apparent reason.
Well, it's probably not going to be the last one.
Yeah.
But we tried to pull the axle stubs off the rear end because one of them was towed in really bad, so we couldn't get aligned. And I wanted to see if they were busted. And in the process of doing that, we took the rear brakes off and found out that they were completely seized. So we decided to upgrade them to Mark III Volkswagen brakes.
Correct.
And that's when our grand misadventure started with brakes.
Well, everybody said to do that.
It was a suggested upgrade.
Yeah, because the Mark II calipers, I guess, were known for seizing. So they suggested to go to Mark IIIs. They're supposed to be direct fit. You just pop them on. No need to change the lines. Nothing like that. So they were available. We ordered them, and Jordan put them on. I think, Wednesday before?
It was one of the nights we were doing the wiring because we
Yeah.
were all there working in the front of the car while he was doing the brakes in the rear
So
of
it was
the car.
a couple days before, and then brakes went to the floor.
Yes, they did. Now, we took a couple days to figure out why they went to the floor. At first, we figured it was a master cylinder
Yep, so we replaced
because
that.
that was on a Friday night. I remember I drove up there like 10 o'clock on a Friday night.
Yep.
That was
We
before
tried
the
to-
event, yeah.
Yep, trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
Because Jordan was adamant, he wanted to do this event, so, you came over.
Yeah.
We worked until, what was it, almost midnight trying to figure
We
things
worked
out.
until we had time to go to the bar for one beer before last call.
Yeah, we went and got beers afterwards.
So it wasn't a total
Method
loss.
to our madness, yeah.
And then that Saturday, I believe, we called it a loss around noon and got it towed down to Andrew's dad's garage.
We started to further investigate. So,
And then 2 weeks later.
yeah. Well, before 2 weeks, we figured out what was wrong with the brakes initially. I feel it was before 2 weeks. If it was only with a couple of days, we figured out that it was
The calipers were
reversed.
Yep.
sort of.
Because when people suggested that you do Mark III calipers, they would have worked if the car was a normal Mark II Golf, but somebody had messed with everything in the rear of the car already.
Right. So the problem was that the Mark III brakes were supposed to work direct fit with no modification. So when I got them, we had 2 boxes of brakes. I opened one, looked at it, and saw, the brake hose goes in the bottom, so this one goes on this side, and the other one goes on the other side. But that turned out to be wrong because the car actually had Mark I brakes on it.
Okay.
So the previous owners flipped the system and put the hard lines on the bottom of the axle beam and the parking brake cable on top. So that's why I ended up putting the brakes on the wrong side, and it made the bleeder just kind of in the middle.
It was a hair too low.
Yeah, so there were.
If you looked at them real fast.
On visual inspection, it looked like it should bleed.
Right.
But it was just enough that the brakes would not bleed.
It was, we were cleaning up, Sunday night, and Tony, Andrew's dad, literally was we were cleaning up tools, and he stops, he's staring at the brakes, and he goes, they're upside down.
Yeah.
After we'd been working on this car for 2 days.
Yep.
And he just goes, they're upside down, and that
But it
was
was the
it.
only way you could have put them on the car.
Yep.
So they needed to be, obviously something was wrong. So we needed to rerun all of the brake lines in order to run. Because even if you went to Mark II calipers, the correct calipers for the car, they would have been upside down because the car was
Correct.
changed.
Yep.
So extensively.
Smash.
Yeah. So anyway, everything got changed at that point. I know that it was kind of a Pandora's box of broken parts at that point because every time you touch something, it's an old car that spent its life rallying and being in Canada. So nature wasn't kind to it. So there's a lot of, rusty connections and rusty hoses and parts that were just going to fail when you put a wrench to them. And they did.
Oh, yeah.
So, how much of the brake system did you guys wind up replacing?
I think we replaced all the hard lines from the master cylinder into the car. Then we replaced the hard lines from the back of the car into the proportioning valve. Replaced the brake hoses, all the calipers, all new rotors. The only thing we honestly did not replace was the brake booster.
Right. Because we all figured the brake booster was fine because when a brake booster goes
me.
bad...
Yeah.
Andrew was convinced it was the booster, but when a brake booster goes bad, you get a hard pedal because you no longer have the vacuum assist.
Yeah.
We bought a brake booster in case it did need to get fixed, but thankfully we didn't have to use it.
Because that was Wednesday before the sprint. We went...
Yeah, time was running out.
Yeah, it was Wednesday before the sprint. We had the brake booster, and we were going down to power bleed the system. And if that didn't work, we were going to replace the booster.
Yep.
And after some turmoil with the power bleeder, we finally got it to work, I guess.
So power bleeder to the rescue at that point.
Yeah, that was the only thing that did it.
So I guess what happened at the end of the day was so much of the system had been replaced that there was just so much air from all the new parts.
And the lines were just weird.
Everything was routed funny, and there were too many highs and lows, and its system wouldn't gravity bleed just sitting there, and it was just a perfect storm of problems to make it not work.
Yeah, because the brake lines are run in the car, so they're a lot higher than normal. And it's just kind of weird. There's like weird loops in there to make them work.
And it looks like they didn't want to cut whatever pre-cut brake lines they used.
Yeah, they just looped them.
So they've just got like lots of weird curves in the back.
Well, they probably didn't have the fancy tools to flare them that we have. So,
nonetheless, with all the fancy tools, the car now has brakes.
Finally.
And it was done just in time
For the rally sprint.
for the event, which I would call a win.
Yeah.
Did we do that last Monday or Tuesday, finish the brakes?
It was done
Wednesday.
on Wednesday before the rally sprint.
No, that would have been Valentine's Day.
No, it was
Oh,
Tuesday.
no, then Tuesday.
Oh, that was
yep.
Tuesday before the rally sprint, because it was right before the rally sprint.
Yeah,
I
We were down to the wire.
Yep.
can't remember.
It was like, get this done or burn this car. Those were
So-
the two options. There was nothing left at that point.
We've done so much, and we literally got the car the December 31st. We've done all of that. It feels like it's been forever.
Which is funny, because when you say all of that, it doesn't sound like that much was done.
But the turmoil.
In reality, it was a lot, because it was doing the same thing over and over again, trying to find the problem, trying to find the solution.
Oh, yeah. We probably spilled like a gallon of brake fluid between my house and Tony's garage, just trying to sort everything out. And then you'd do something and stuff would leak.
Easily. We evaporated a lot of it with brake clean.
yeah. Oh, man.
But I mean, we did a lot of other stuff too. Like we had to install new belts.
All the safety equipment, I forgot about all that
with
stuff.
all the safety equipment.
That stuff seems so easy now.
Yeah, well, they required some modification to existing seat mounts and 4 harnesses being ordered because 2 weren't long enough.
Oh, yeah. It's weird because the harness, it doesn't have a harness bar. It's got a...
It goes all the way to the strut towers.
Yeah.
Right, but you will get a harness bar before we do any kind of ARA events or...
Yep, I actually emailed him
SCCA
today.
events.
Emailed the guy today to talk about getting the cage updated.
Excellent, because there's a few things we learned that we'll get to that eventually. That comes a little later in the story. So yeah, car was ready. Tuesday, we had till Saturday to get
Get it
on
loaded.
a trailer and get it loaded and get it there. So that was, thankfully, that was easy.
Yep, it was.
So we got the car to New Hampshire, where the rally sprint was, on a Saturday evening.
Yep, we went up for the tech inspection. Yeah.
Yep.
First time that our car actually, so Jordan has been like talking to all these people because he's known them for so long, like asking all their advice, but nobody's actually seen this car yet because we hadn't been able to make any events. So it was nice getting it there, and everybody already knew about our car, knew to what to look for, but it passed inspection real easily.
There's now 3 dogs under the table.
This is a mess.
It's a small IKEA table, like for like a really small
The table
kitchen.
is like 36 inches by 36 inches square. And there are 4 full-grown dogs under the table right now.
Trying to get
There's
under
only
it.
3.
Oh, all 3 of them down here?
All right, get out of here, dogs. Shoo.
Yeah, they're all right. They're fine. A little extra noise. A little podcast. Oh, and there
boy.
goes my dog. Of course.
Oh.
He wants to be a loudmouth.
Yeah,
Anyway.
so
So, tech inspection comes.
Yeah, we get to tech inspection. We get there. They do tech inspection. Well, Brad had the honor of putting all of our stickers on.
Yes, I did. How did I get that on? I don't even know how that happened.
I don't
Did I
know.
volunteer?
You said you were a vinyl guy.
I never said I was a vinyl guy.
Someone said you were a vinyl guy, so I handed you everything.
Yep. So you put all their stickers
he's into
on.
PVC.
Yeah, something.
Hey,
I don't.
I'm not going there.
Yeah,
Never
okay.
mind. That was-
I
anyways,
don't,
you put the
I don't
stickers on.
remember exactly how it happened. I just
I
remember.
think Joe said that.
Yeah.
It probably was Joe.
Truth
but
is, Joe's the vinyl guy.
Yeah.
I was kind of nervous.
I mean, I
that,
did happen
the
to have a
car would be
squeegee,
problem.
too.
Yeah, Andrew's probably the vinyl guy because he had the stupid
Thing.
rubber squeegee to put it on with
Yeah.
in his truck for no apparent reason.
No, I tinted the windows and I just threw it in the console when I was done.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
So there was a reason, but it was still strange that you had that just kind of lying around.
No, I hadn't cleaned the truck apparently. So
Apparently, well, I haven't driven it in a while either.
Yeah.
That's another story for later on, the fact that you drove the Montero this weekend.
Yeah.
So, tech inspection. I put the stickers on. Yay, me. Go me.
Yay.
Next.
So we got tech inspection. Got that finished up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking, though.
I was nervous.
Yeah, there's some janky shit in that car, and I
Like the brakes.
didn't want
No,
them to
not
say,
yet.
like, this is no good, you can't run.
Yeah. I feel like the fact that you had been so vocal about everything coming up to it and talking to everybody on the Facebook groups about the rally and all that stuff, that I feel like if there was something that was like
People were unsure
borderline, that you may have gotten a pass for this one event just because you put so much effort into it.
They didn't. There wasn't anything big. We just forgot to tighten some straps down.
the
Yeah,
sub harnesses weren't tight.
yeah,
They tighten those.
Anti-submarine belts were loose from when I was trying to adjust them.
And they're not easy to tighten either.
No, they're not. That's why they were
That's
loose.
why they were loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the
Yeah,
ass.
I had to have Andy crawl across the car
Yep.
and hold them while I tighten them.
Yeah, working on the interior of a car with a cage is a thing that I never realized would be so difficult.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
very difficult.
You're like, oh, this car's got no interior. This will be sweet, but it's got all these bars in the way.
Yeah.
So then we finished that up. Went back to the hotel room.
Which is a trip and a story all of itself.
Yeah, that's just a whole Pandora's box. We can't even start on that. Anyways, we woke up the next morning to 6 inches of snow.
Well, hold on. So this is was it Lancaster Motor Inn?
Yes.
Is that what it was?
Oh, why
Like you
put 'em
throw
on
on blast.
No, there was nothing. There was
Nothing
nothing
wrong with the room.
inherently wrong with the hotel.
Room was clean,
Well,
except for the coffee maker.
Some old drippy in the coffee maker. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a bit much.
There's penicillin in there, and it was weird because it was like pretty comfortable in there. We're all drinking beers, hanging out, watching our CRT TV.
Yes, a 27-inch CRT with the VHS player
It
on
was
top.
like a 20-inch.
With a VHS player on top.
And a fly swatter.
And then
Underneath the fly swatter, which is a piece of art hanging on the wall as a fly swatter.
we get ready to go to bed. I'm like, oh, it's a little chilly in here. I'll just go to sleep with my sweatshirt on. And then all of a sudden, like, the heat just got cranked.
Yeah, it was like 95.
Two
And there was
million.
and there was no thermostat for us to adjust. It was the strangest thing.
There's nothing inherently wrong with the hotel other than the fact that it hasn't been updated in, I don't know, I'm 37, so I'm going to go with 37 years because I've never seen anything older than that. It was a bit
about
much.
85 during
But-
the night.
Yeah, it was hot.
The best thing about it was they allowed the 3 dogs to come along.
Yes, they did.
That's
allow
why
three
we
dogs.
stayed there.
3 out of these 4 dogs were there all weekend, so
Yeah.
they did.
They had
it
an exclusive VHS library that could be rented.
They had
in
over
the lobby.
1,000 VHS tapes that you could rent in the lobby, which is why there was a VHS player in the room.
Yeah.
Regardless, if you're in Lancaster, New Hampshire, it's pretty much the only game in town, and it's good enough.
It worked.
Yeah,
Pizza was good. And
Yeah.
we were not murdered. Life is good.
yeah, pizza was good.
We got food.
The 40 beers were good.
Minimum.
Yeah, why did we drink so much beer before having a like hard event the next
I
day?
was fine.
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I had 1 beer.
I don't know. I was fine.
I had a lot more than 1 beer.
Yeah, we know.
I was fine. I just had a lot of beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It presented a problem the next day, but I got through it.
You had to get to the top of the hill
Like-
real fast.
it's not like you were driving or anything.
Yeah, he was riding.
Still wearing a fire suit, though.
So anyway, we get the next morning,
Yeah,
and there is a
snow.
shit ton of snow.
It was like 4 or 5 inches. Wasn't a big deal.
Until
Well, yeah, until we tried to get down the road, the access road, and the truck in front of us carrying the Volvo got stuck.
yes, because he did not have
Snow tires,
good
winter
tires
tires.
on his truck. So that was a bit of a nightmare. But
That was like, that was like an hour-long backup.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was,
we waited for at least 45 minutes.
Yeah, so it was supposed to start we were supposed to be there for 8:30?
registration ended at 8:30, and if we had been able to just get straight up the hill, we would have been there at like
8
7:30.
something? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
7:30.
I mean, I went up and I told Kathy, who's in charge, I was like, "Oh, they're here, just stuck down the hill."
Which she knew because there were
25
a bunch of other trucks stuck behind us.
I think
And
there was
then other
25
trucks got
cars.
stuck that tried to rescue people. So
But Jordan never got stuck.
No.
So
I never get stuck.
that's true. The Xterra has
No.
a pretty good
track record.
track record of not getting stuck and recovering cars that are stuck.
I walked up to the top and to just see what's going on, to relay back to them with phones. And I'm standing up there. The Volvo finally gets up, and then they over the radio they're like, "Oh, a Nissan pulling a Golf is next.
Yes.
And all of the guys up there were like, oh, that's a bad idea. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Let's see if this makes it up here.
Right, because every other truck was like an F-350 or a 2500 or a 3500 Chevy.
Yeah.
Pulling this
So, and then one of the guys was like, oh, we're going to drop the Golf and like drive the Golf up. And then here comes Jordan. No issue in the world. Just like right up and turns right into the thing. Everyone was like, didn't see that coming.
Yep. I believe the one person said, like a fucking professional.
Well, that would have been me.
Oh, is that you who said
Yeah.
that? Oh, I didn't realize that.
I was standing there when that guy was videoing it.
All right, excellent. But yeah, so you guys got up there. We got registered, got unloaded,
Yep.
got you guys all situated in your fire suits and your driver's meeting.
Yep.
And
We nearly died on the ice. Just walking.
just walking around, yep. You looked understandably nervous
Oh, I was so nervous.
all morning long. Jordan looked also understandably nervous all morning long. And all that wiped away after what, the first run?
I think the what was it called?
Recce?
Recce. Recce made it worse, and then the first run made it better.
Andrew's currently fighting with his dog. Oh, and your dog actually is under there too.
Oh, no. Should we pause and handle the dog
This is
situation?
a two-dog battle. Things are falling from the sky. We're going to pause this podcast and come right back to it. Andrew, want to pause that real quick? No, well, we're going to pause it because we take all these dogs.
All right.
This one right here. Pause it.
Oh!
Come here. Plenty of time. And we're back. We're recording. Life is good.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Is my mic on this time?
Your mic is on
Yeah,
this
it is.
time.
I think that's...
Red light is on.
Yeah, no,
Numbers,
that's recording.
numbers are
I think we
changing.
got this.
I couldn't...
Numbers
I
are
don't
changing.
usually pause them, so...
Half the dogs are gone. Half
No.
the dogs are here.
Is this going to turn into a lost
The
episode?
lost audio.
Yep.
No, it'll
No.
be good. It'll be good.
Eaten by the podcast Krampus?
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine. It's going. I wouldn't think it'd be eaten by the podcast.
I don't
Krampus
remember
and eaten
where
by one of
were
our
we?
dogs.
We were at the morning of. We're at
Okay.
Warning of nerves, and when did the nerves go away?
After. So we did Recce, and then the first actual stage race is when the nerves went away. Because Recce made it so much worse.
Right, because things happened.
Oh, man, it was horrible. Like,
So I talked to the competitor who got stuck, and then therefore caused everybody else to get stuck. And he said that it was just one of those things. He was coming up the hill, and it was Recce, so he wasn't going at race speed. And all of a sudden, he got real slick, and he's like, "I'm not going fast enough. It's too late. I'm going to get stuck on this hill." And he said if he was going at race speed, he'd been fine. Because it was Recce, and he was just kind of cruising through. He's nope, it's not going to happen. So therefore, you and the Volvo got stuck on the same hill that he was stuck on.
Yep. So that was the second hill. Mind you, this was like, we do racers meeting, and me and Jordan are standing there, and they're like, all right, so you can't just like putt around with Recce, like you have to actually do it like at a good speed or you're not going to clear the hills.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of gave us a warning that you couldn't just putt around. This being my first time driving the car, I was like,
Putting around is the base.
I really wanted to just putt around and actually get a feel for it, but
Let's not let it slide that there was legitimately you've driven this car
once.
4 miles, maybe, if that, probably less.
That's about it, right?
Yeah, total in the entire time of ownership.
Yep.
So your first real seat time is like
On glare ice and
on
6
glare
inches of
ice
snow.
in competition. Like there was no like, oh, I'm going to drive this car to work for a week and see how it feels.
No,
it was
'cause they
like
had no brakes.
trial by fire. Here we go.
Yeah, did you drive it more on Sunday than any other time?
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah. No.
I don't know how many race miles there were, but it was certainly more than 4.
There were about 2 miles a stage, and I think we did 8 stages.
Okay, yeah, so that's
So
more than 4
yep.
Yep.
by a significant number.
Oh, and that's not even including the transit, which was another 3 miles.
Transit was like 2.6.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you get about 30 something miles out of it, so
Yep.
that's a lot of seat time for one day.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Oh yeah.
So it was at the Team O'Neill School, which was probably a good 2 or 3 inches of ice on top of their normal gravel, and then it snowed on top of that, which apparently, according to one of the organizers, the day before they had sanded, and he was like, "Oh, it was no problem. I got everywhere in 2-wheel drive." But then when you throw down snow, it's like, I don't know, it's like throwing not water. Obviously, it's water.
It's frozen water.
I was trying to think of the analogy of what it's like it's like putting sawdust down on like an linoleum floor or something,
Yeah.
like in an old.
Just made it more slick.
We have a supermarket around here that used to throw sawdust down.
They didn't just throw sawdust down for like shits though.
No, it was to pick up stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah, it was like to clean up. Like that was how they cleaned up.
Shit in the grocery store.
Dear
I don't know
Lord.
what store
It would
Jordan's
clean up
shopping
spills.
at.
Clearly.
They used it for vomit. That's what they used it for.
Possibly, but they also used it for
At Market Basket?
Yeah.
milk spills and...
Yeah. Why you go there?
Why is there so much vomit at Market
know.
Basket?
Have you been to a Market Basket?
Yeah, I shop there
my
all the
gosh.
time.
We shop there all the time. We
I know.
haven't encountered
I
vomit.
vomited like 3 times.
No, they don't use sawdust anymore.
God.
I remember.
Oh, right.
I remember sliding around on it as a kid. You'd hit the sawdust
Yeah.
pile.
So you were
and
sliding around in vomit, apparently.
No, it was
according to
dry
Jordan.
sawdust.
No dry heaving noises. Our
So yeah, the car
audience
was
is
like
gonna
driving
go
through
away.
vomit the whole time.
Yes, slippery, frozen vomit.
It was moist out there.
Why?
Ruining the whole show. We've lost 50% of our audience now. Anyway, so Reki sucked because
We couldn't
you
get
got
up-
stuck. You couldn't get up the hill because you're going too slow for the
Well,
conditions.
we got up the first hill. I mean, by like the skin of our teeth, because like this was my first time driving, and we come to the hill, and Jordan's like, "Just put your foot down." He's like, "Just don't stop. Just don't stop." So we like,
Yep.
the car doesn't sound like it wanted to do it at all. I didn't think we were going to make it to the top of that hill, but we did. Then we get to the second hill, and the BMW was off to the side, and the Volvo was further up, and I essentially stopped because I had no idea what was going on.
Right. You saw two stopped cars.
And
your
there was
first
no
time
co-drivers
driving.
out. There was
Yeah.
nothing. So I stopped. And Jordan's like, "Oh, try to get past them." And we had no speed, and we just got stuck in
No
between them.
momentum left anymore, yeah.
So then it was the Volvo, me, and then the BMW down below.
Which we can call him out. That was Dan Downey, former guest.
Blast.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
got
again,
stuck.
he admitted it, and he said, I got stuck because I was going too slow on Reki.
Yeah, we don't have to hide who it was.
Don't know what happened with the Volvo, though.
Yeah, he got stuck behind Dan Downey. Same way you did. He saw him, slowed down,
Okay.
got past him, but didn't have enough to keep going. Apparently that Volvo was open diff, so he was having a little bit more trouble than some other cars that were rear-wheel drive that were there. And you guys are open diff too, so you're essentially one-wheel drive, which is not good in
Yeah.
the
We didn't get
ice and
stuck.
snow. No, other than that one time.
Yep.
That wasn't our fault.
It wasn't your fault. And it's funny because, being spectating the event at that point, because, we were quote unquote crew,
Air quotes.
air quotes. Well, at a rally sprint, you can spectate and be crew because it's such a small area. You don't have to run huge mile stages. But it was very good to hear that it wasn't your fault. Because we're like, oh man, it's the first time out and they got stuck. Aw.
And then they made us. So, let alone driving the car, one of my things I hate doing in life is reversing.
Okay.
I really can't do it in any car. My Mini.
All forward, all the time.
Always move forward.
I just can't. So they made me reverse down the stage into like a cutoff so I could turn back around so I could redo the hill.
Yep.
And we get back there, and what was the guy's name who helped us?
It was Scott.
Scott. He was helping like direct me backwards because I can't figure out which way to turn the wheel. So
Okay.
he's leaning into the car, like turning the wheel for me as I'm
Oh my
trying to
God.
reverse.
I wish there was video of this moment in time.
And I'm just like, thank you so much, thank you, because I'm like a hot mess.
You're nervous at that point, too, because it's your first time on a stage road.
And we're going backwards. There's ice. Jordan's slipping and falling just outside the car.
Oh, yeah, that was when I realized how slick the roads were.
Because you couldn't stand on them.
Because I got out of the car to go talk to the other teams, and then I came back to our car, and I was talking to Liz, and then all of a sudden I just started sliding, standing still, and I went like 15 feet.
Without even walking.
Yep.
Trying to stand still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a slippery road.
Yeah, because one of the sweet vehicles, the Jeep, went up without chains, and apparently he stopped and then just slid backwards.
Oh, that's awful.
Yep. So we rerun it again, finished the recce, and then like at that moment in time, once we finished, I got up the hill that we just got stuck on, transited back down. I could have just went home. I didn't care. I was completely fulfilled.
Over it.
No, I wasn't over it. I was completely fulfilled. I was the most excited I'd ever been.
Okay.
And at that point in time, I was like, if the car breaks right now, I would be so happy. I got in exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah, the word we got from everybody that saw you at any point in the stage was all they could see was the car coming through the woods and your giant smile as they went by.
I was
How
smiling
excited
so much.
you were, yeah.
So much.
But that's good. That means that everything was worth it, so
Oh, yeah. And then
100%.
And that neon red helmet.
Yeah, you
I
can
got
use the
a
helmet.
powerboat helmet,
Yes, it's
the offshore red or whatever.
fluorescent red. Yeah.
That's so obnoxious.
It doubles as a hunting hat.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, I say like when we flip the car for the first time, they'll be able to find us. Maybe.
No, they won't, because the helmet will be on the bottom.
I don't know.
That's how it works.
Oh, you float to the top, Brad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll be
That's a
fine.
Volkswagen. They float.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Not this one.
No, definitely not
No.
this one.
It's
It's not a
definitely
beetle. B is full of holes.
Oh, God. So then we did... The next 2 stages were the 2 big uphills.
Okay.
Or, well, runs of the stage. How do they determine these things?
2 stages. You can call
2
it stages.
stages? Okay.
Yeah.
Because it didn't change, though.
Yeah, it's the same route, but they consider it like stage 1, stage 2.
Okay. So we did 2 stages of the 2 big uphills. And that was definitely... You're going to die drinking that.
That's fine.
We definitely...
The
That was...
2-year-old Narragansett, for those who are wondering why he's going to die. It's very old.
It was old to begin with.
Still tastes like Narragansett.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did the 2 more stages of the uphill, which those were like the most nerve-wracking ones, just because the car, at one point we get to the top of the big hill and I'm like, what does that smell? And Jordan's like, it's fine, it's just your tires.
Yeah, burning rubber on the ice.
Yep.
Yep.
I wasn't expecting that, nor the sound the engine was making as I was trying to get up the hill. And I'm
Angry
like,
sounds.
is the car fine? Is the car fine? He's like, it's fine, just keep driving.
Well, it's funny, the discussion we were having on the sidelines as you went by, we were thinking about the spinning tires and spinning engine is, does that car have a rev limiter?
You told me it had a rev limiter.
What does that
But
mean?
it does.
What does that
It
mean?
does. It does have one. 100%. So we were thinking on the sidelines. And
Can't
we determined
overspin the engine.
That it does. Yeah, it makes it so it can only go to a certain RPM.
Oh,
it won't go
okay.
above it.
Okay,
so
that's
it cuts fuel at a certain RPM.
That's
It
good.
doesn't-
It probably needs to do that.
You would have blown it up. I'm 100% positive in the conditions you were driving in on your first time driving it if you did not have a rev limiter, because it would have spun so fast.
She never bounced it off the rev limiter.
No?
No.
Maybe it just doesn't have enough oomph to get there.
I don't know, but
Whatever, it's fine.
there was one of the hill climbs that it was probably screaming at like 6,000 or 7,000, and it didn't bounce. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'd probably be about... There's no way it was doing 7,000. The motor wouldn't have lasted at 7,000.
it sounded like 7,000.
Well,
It was
but that's just that motor was probably doing 45.
No,
The
it
little-
idles at 45.
Valid point. Yeah, let it be known, we still haven't actually done the fine tuning of the motor with the timing and the valve adjustment and all that stuff. We still have to go through. But I did notice that as the day went on, the motor sounded
Oh, yeah.
a lot better. Like it just needed to be romped on and driven and
Yep.
blown out. And at the end of the day, it sounded much better than at the start of the day, which is the opposite of normal rally. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Things got better as it went on. Not
The car
more
did.
worn.
The car did great. The whole every
Yeah, it really
every
did.
stage. There was no time I was driving the car where I was like, "Oh, there's something wrong."
Yeah, as rally crew, Andrew and I and Joe and Andy were upset. We're very happy that
Yeah.
we didn't have to do anything. We just
think-
jacked it up, checked some things, put it
think
back
we
on the
just-
ground, and carried on.
Took the tire pressure down was the only adjustment we made. The
Which helped
whole
a lot
day.
in the ice, I
Oh
bet, too.
yeah,
Yeah.
No
it made a
contact
huge
batch.
difference. And they sanded the road too, but
Still, yeah, with ice you want more contact patch. With snow you want a narrower tire. So
Yeah.
once the snow is gone and you were on ice, the wider tire certainly helps.
super helpful. Also, we had studded tires, which were
If you didn't have studded tires, you wouldn't have gone anywhere.
nope.
I've never driven stud tires before,
Mm-hmm.
and I was shocked at how dope those tires are.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of tires did you have on the car?
The Nokia Nordmans.
Okay, so those
Yeah.
are really good
They were amazing.
snow tires, and then you had them studded as well, so
Yeah.
they're good ice tires.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, Nokia makes a good tire,
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, I want to get some for the truck.
even though you didn't need them because you climbed the hill with the trailer, no problem.
Yeah, I'll give it up for those Wild Peaks
Yeah, they were pretty good.
for an
Those are
all-terrain
Falcons,
tire.
right?
Yeah, they were like really great on the snow and ice
Yeah.
towing.
Yeah, no, all terrains are usually pretty good in snow. Usually,
The ones I used
Ones
to
I've
have were
had.
pretty bad.
Really?
But these are clearly
because even the ones I have in my truck, I have those Pep Boys Futuras on the truck right now,
Yeah.
and even those were fine in the snow. They're pretty good. I didn't put it in four-wheel drive most of the day, so except when we stopped on the hill where everybody got stuck, I put it in four-wheel drive there.
Oh yeah.
But
When we got to the bottom of the hill and pulled off of the town highway, and I saw somebody unloading their rally car, I put it in 4-wheel drive.
yes, but do you know why they unloaded their rally car?
To put the Civic on it.
Yeah.
To put their other car on it because their other car didn't have snow tires.
Right.
So they figured the rally car could drive up on its snow tires, and their other crew members that were in a Honda Civic on all seasons wouldn't make it. So,
No, not at all.
I think they attempted and they had to come back down.
so nonetheless, they switched up on that. But
And I almost forgot in the second stage, So this would be my third time running the course, third time driving it. Mm-hmm. We get to one of the first uphill, the first steep uphill. We turn the corner, and the Volvo, I ran last due to experience. Obviously.
Yeah, well, you were going to be. They figured you'd be one of a slower driver.
Yeah, the slowest driver.
I'm not putting you in there, but they figured you'd be on the slower end because A, you're in a two-wheel drive car, and B, you've never done it before.
Yeah. So we came up, we turned the corner, and this is like the first time, like, I saw the co-driver, like, out with, like, the okay sign.
Okay.
But he's not, like, in a snowbank. He's just off to the side of the hill. Like, they didn't make it up the hill.
Okay.
And there's now a narrow opening to the left, and Jordan's like, don't stop, just go.
Gas it and go, gas it and go.
But I'm like, can't breathe. Like, I was like, all right. And so it, like, narrowed down. It turned to, like, snow off to the side because we weren't really...
You're off the race path now.
Yeah. And we're going up the steeper uphill, which the car has trouble with anyways. We wind up passing him, which was obviously the greatest feeling in the world. And then when we came back down, they got out of their car, and the guy was like, comes up to me, and he's like, you had maybe, like, you were like 2 inches from the car. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, I was looking out my window when she did it, and their rearview mirror was like right next to me.
Oops.
Yeah.
It was really impressive.
No contact. Doesn't matter.
No, yeah,
You made
exactly.
It.
I
Pro move right there.
I have sound of the car running. I can play.
Oh, man.
Oh,
you do?
excellent. Look at this.
Yeah.
Professional stuff right
Really?
here.
Are you just going to
Wow.
Foley some like rocks in a bucket?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Hold on.
You are. You're at this is at the start of one of the stages.
This is early on.
Yeah.
Is this the
not
car
running
or
smooth.
like a
the
little
car.
Honda generator?
To figure out a better way to tell them it's like, yeah. Look at that.
There you go.
My baby.
Yeah, sounds good.
It sounded horrible the first couple times we ever started that thing. So
Yeah, it sounded a lot better at the end of the day than that. That was pretty early on, I think, in the running, but it definitely smoothed out a lot as the day went on. But it sounds like a proper rally car.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it's got
does.
a good little tone to it when it's at full song. So it's a good car.
it is.
You've made a good purchase.
Yeah, it's pretty.
There were a few times in the past 3 weeks where I questioned your purchase, but after the
Me
event
too.
running, after the running of the event where it ran pretty well and everything went well, I good purchase. Good
I
purchase.
know. I still can't believe we ran 8 stage rallies.
8 stages.
8 stages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rally,
Never before. It's so cool.
Yeah, you completed everything everybody else did. You might not have won, but that's a win.
Yeah.
So,
I thought I was going to honestly hit like a snowbank or the car was going to die doing something.
and honestly, your overall time, well, you already said you were last,
Yeah.
which again is not anything to scoff at because
I think I was
it's
a
your first
minute
time
behind the
doing
last
it.
time.
You weren't like, it wasn't like days behind everybody. It was like, oh, this is her first time. She's going to be good.
Yeah. I'm
Here,
excited.
I've got you going by one of the only spectator areas here at speed here.
Oh, more sound bites.
Yeah, more sound bites.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It's a lot quieter.
We can hear how much better it sounds too. It's much
Yeah.
smoother at that point. Because later
Once
in
it
the
gets
day.
running, yeah.
I was surprised how, like, when we had our helmets on with the intercom has like 3 settings for like sound deadening,
Okay.
and I can't hear any of the terrible rattles and shakes that the car makes, except like a very faint echo of it through her microphone.
So it's picking up through her microphone, but it's canceling
Yeah,
out
it's
your
great
headphones.
because normally when I drive a car, if it makes a lot of noises and rattles and clunks, I'm just constantly worried.
Okay.
But I can't hear that in this.
This is
car.
why you don't ride in my cars?
Yes.
Yeah.
It definitely makes a lot of rattles and noises right now.
Well, honestly, any car that you strip the entire interior out of and have no sound deadening and no carpet and no headliner and no quarter
Anything.
panel trims and no door trims is going to be loud inside because you're in a metal can at that
Yeah.
point. I mean, it's just every little thing is going to make noise, especially driving it off road.
I think when we brought it back for service for the true one and only service we did, and you pointed out that the
Oh, the skid plate is mounted in 4 points, but then in front of the most forward mount points, there's another foot of skid plate that just
Yeah.
free hangs.
that
And then
pretty
it's-
much resonates.
Yeah.
Cut in a weird way,
It's
Yeah.
cut because there probably used to be some kind of a tow bar that went through it.
but the tow bar is above it.
I think they might have come from a different car or something, and it had a different tow bar on it or something. I'm sure there's a reason it's cut like that. There must have been something going through
But
there
it's like
before.
a tuning fork, and it'll just vibrates.
Yeah.
So it took us a while when, like, we were doing the transits And you're not like freaking out because I'm listening to Jordan give the notes, and I'm like, what is that god awful noise?
Yeah.
I was really getting nervous, and I was like, what is that noise? And then you pointed out that the skid plates are like potentially
Just
shaking.
yeah, there's so much of it's unsupported. There's nothing to.
I was like, okay, I feel better now.
Yeah, that's all it was. I mean, everything was tight. We checked everything and
Yeah.
made sure that all the wheel bearings and ball joints and wheels.
Yeah,
and
the wheels. It was really
seats
unsettling. It was really
and everything
loud.
was nice and tight. Also, you got to remember too that you were driving on studs, and studs are loud,
Oh, yeah.
especially in a car with no sound deadening material whatsoever. So,
Not on pavement, though.
what's that?
Wasn't on pavement, though.
No, but the hard packed ice is going to make a lot of noise still too. And was it pavement on the transit roads or not?
No, it's all dirt.
It's all
There was pavement under there somewhere.
Yeah, couldn't see it, but it was there.
maybe.
Anyway, so
Maybe
8 stages, all successful.
Yep.
1 service, also successful. Thank you, Andrew, and Joe, and Andy,
Yep.
and me.
Yeah.
Yay me, yay us. And lunch, thanks to Liz, that she provided for all of us. It was
Yeah.
delicious. Important things that rally. You got to remember, you need to supply food and beer for your team because
Check.
we're
Nailed
not,
it.
we're not getting paid enough otherwise.
Nope.
Or at all.
Or at all. In fact, it costs us money, so you have to give us something. But
This is
nonetheless, it was definitely an exercise in how well something could have gone.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have gone any better. I had a great weekend. You guys had obviously a great weekend. Super proud of both of you for doing what you've done in the short period of time you've done it. I'm sure Andrew echoes that sentiment. It's pretty impressive.
I wanted the car to finish, and
Yep.
it did. That
Yep.
was the only goal.
Yep.
That was
Well,
my only goal.
Yeah, I
here's
just
the thing.
wanted to finish.
Andrew and I have been friends for a very long time, and we've talked about building a rally car for a really long time, and we've never done it. So the fact that you guys were like in December or November or whenever you're like, I'm going to buy a rally car, and here it is February, and you're completed your first event.
Yeah.
Pretty damn impressive. I mean, to be honest with you.
And I also have to give it out to everybody, you guys, your dad. The car, didn't run? Its last event was in 2005.
Oh yeah.
So the last event it ran was 2005.
13 years of
13 years
dormancy.
of not racing,
Yeah.
and then it
They
also
actually-
sat for 2 years without
And-
being driven at all.
At Tech, when we gave them the logbook, they were looking through it and they were surprised that the last event was in 2005. And they're like, "Oh, ugh."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the fact that we got it a month and 17 days ago, and the fact that it was able to do that was obviously awesome.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's awesome. It's a cool story. The car is called Spaghetti, which SPA GTI, as we all know, because it's a red Golf and GTI works.
Fan favorite.
As a fan favorite, because the story is now well known thanks to your quick turnaround and getting it running. So
Hopefully, I'll be able to get the license plate. I already checked that it's available.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. You definitely should. Can you put a hashtag before it too?
I don't know if
Hampshire,
I've,
you probably can.
probably. I don't see
It's
why
7
I've
letters.
seen
that's only 6.
ampersands
Yeah.
on New Hampshire plates.
not. So we'll see what we can do.
It must be available. Must be available. Anyway, any other takeaways you had from the day that you guys want to kind of touch on before we end this episode, I think? And I think we're going to record a second episode, actually, for while they're here in studio, probably.
Yes. All the people that ask questions will be on the second episode.
Excellent.
Part 2.
Dose.
Fancy.
Yeah, so any takeaways from the event? Anything you want to kind of touch on, or advice you want to give others, or save it all for the question episode?
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. No.
Everybody
With a
always
smile on your
says-
face. Absolutely not.
Buy your first rally car.
Yes.
I would add an addendum to that.
Okay.
Don't buy one that hasn't run in 10 years.
Okay, that's a solid point.
They'll cost more, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That's
got
a
ours
fine.
for
Well,
it was pennies, really.
It's a pretty good deal.
It's worth a lot more now.
Yeah. Well, now it's got some pedigree in it.
Yeah.
so you're saying we should sell it?
I mean,
As,
We take that back.
Provenance?
She can hear you.
yeah, provenance.
Provenance?
Provenance.
It's well
No, I wouldn't say you sell it unless you guys
Has
are,
racing
you know-
history.
Yeah. One sprint.
Well, no, but now it's finished a sprint,
Yeah, it has.
and that makes the car the known entity now.
Yeah.
It was a completely unknown entity before Sunday, and now it's a known entity, and it's a testament to whoever built the car, too, because the car sat for so long, and
It did work.
we just changed some brakes and a
Throw
couple of
some new spark
seatbelts.
plugs in and hope for the best.
There we go. And everything is good, so
No, it'll continue to haunt my neighbors for the foreseeable future.
excellent. That's what's best about being a car guy in general.
You know what I'm
pushing out
looking
the
forward
neighbors.
to is not working on it for a little bit.
Month and a half.
Yeah,
You're
we've already established that this weekend is no wrenching on GTI weekend.
Because I can't remember, like, I lost track of time, like, the amount of times that we worked on
Yeah,
it.
I feel like
We
we built
worked
this car
on
from
it.
scratch.
so much.
Yeah.
It was essentially every night,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. And it bears repeating that we all live within like a 50-mile radius of one another.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was a centrally easy thing for all of us to do either. We had to get out of work and all like commute
get the
somewhere.
dogs,
and,
drive
exactly.
an hour down here, this, that, the other thing. No, but it got done, and then the sprint was 100% worth it.
Yep, definitely.
100% success.
Would drive to Canada again in a snowstorm.
Would you?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a little tired of towing cars in snowstorms, though.
Hey, you haven't towed a car not in a snowstorm yet.
Correct.
Yeah, because you towed the car twice, both times in the snow.
Yep.
Actually, no, you towed it to Salem.
You did.
but
It wasn't snow.
One time. Short tow.
Okay, but that was like 40 minutes.
miles. Yeah. That was nothing. All right, Andrew, any final thoughts for yourself?
No. Let's see. You can follow us on Facebook, Auto Off Topic Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Auto Off Topic. Follow me on Instagram, Race and Anger. How about you, Brad?
As always, I'm at TSISS350. Liz is rolling her eyes at me. I had to change that, apparently.
Whatever.
Where can we find you guys on the social medias of the world?
You can follow me on Instagram at DitchHookers for terrible, angry posts about fixing this car again.
Yes, and pictures of dogs
And dogs. And I'm at Gadget90
on Instagram.
on Instagram for beer
Yep, and rally cars.
and rally cars lately.
And tattoos.
And tattoos,
And other things you're into. Bikes.
mountain biking,
kinds of stuff.
random things.
Mostly rally cars. That's all our audience cares about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for anything
Follow
else.
the hashtag SPAGTI for pictures of the car. And also
need to start
pictures.
using that
Is that a thing now?
It is a thing now.
Yeah, we gotta start using that.
However, there's also a lot of pictures of spaghetti.
I just spelled wrong. Look it up.
So that is there as well. But you can scroll through and find the pictures of cars in
Somebody
hidden in
touched
between.
my spaghetti.
And there's a few pictures of the nobody touched my spaghetti as well. So anyway, that's all, Andrew. And they're looking at it right now.
Well, keep cars analog and aim for the roses.